Hey there fellow retro gamers, welcome back. David Eon here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the classic NES XENOPHOBE, and no, that girl nor that alien appear anywhere in this game. Now you see there's three characters. I just went ahead and selected the middle one. It really doesn't matter who you pick because they all play exactly the same. Unless you were playing the arcade version, which this is loosely based on because it looks nothing like the arcade version. If you're playing the arcade version, let me get out of his way real quick. If you're playing the arcade version, who you picked would determine, oh, bonus weapon right away. That's very rare. I'll tell you here in a second. There are 4 different weapons in this game, and I'm going to play this long enough, hopefully, for you to see all 4 versions of the weapon. This is the laser. It's the second most powerful, and it's my favorite weapon in the game. But anyway, if you were playing the arcade version, if you chose the duck, you went on the top. If you chose the eye patch guy, you went on the bottom. If you chose the conehead guy, you went in the middle. And I always like to play with the conehead guy, so I'd be right in the middle. No passing that. You can't get past the shield unless you're knocked through it by one of the big aliens. I don't recommend it. And you see, you pick up your bonus items. There's bonus items that will pop up. No more than 3. You're going to get anywhere from 1 to 3 bonus items on a screen. 2 is your average. No more than 3. Rarely. I like this gun because it can shoot the entire length of the screen, and it fires as fast as you press the button. Or if you were playing the arcade version, let me demonstrate this for you really quick. You saw what I just did. If you turn and you press one of those buttons on the wall, you get transported into another room. I don't really recommend doing it because you could end up anywhere. You see that thing try to chew on me, and you brush it off and kill it. I'll stop periodically if I get the chance to kill something small crawling on the floor because it's easier to kill them, and the objective here is to kill... Oh, no, I don't want that. Tried to trick me by giving me the cheap gun. The gun that you walk in with is the worst gun in the game. But you want to kill as many of them as you can within the time limit so that you can finish the level. You can fail a level. Oops. You can fail a level by not killing enough xenophobes. Or not xenophobes, but xenomorphs rather. And if that happens, the screen will start flashing. That flashing means you have a minute left, and if you can't, come on. I'm messing around with this drone. I really don't recommend doing that because you see that flashing, it was about to disappear. But the whole screen will flash, and then you fail the mission. You will be able to continue playing, you just will forfeit bonuses. Usually between 30 to 45 xenomorphs is how many you have to kill. And again, I don't recommend messing around with the drones or the other traps too much because they don't always count towards your total kill ratio. Not only that, but the traps are harder to kill, especially the drones. The drones are the hardest things to kill in the whole freaking game. And you're just wasting your time. So don't mess with those too much if you can help it. You saw a minute ago I picked up a grenade. You can use grenades in this game. That's the shield. Again, you can't get through it unless you're knocked through, and I don't recommend experiencing that. But you can use grenades in the game. I'll demonstrate. Oh, there you go. That orb means that I have completed the level to their satisfaction, and they will now beam me out. Mission accomplished. But I'll demonstrate the grenade here shortly. Anyways. Now I go back to my ship and see base cleared Xenos. 34 is what they expected, so I got 3,400, a health bonus of 200. And you can keep playing until you run out of health. So if you fail a mission, they'll put you back in, and it's no big deal. You just won't get your health or your kill bonus. If you use a grenade, it will not be on your valuable hardware count that you just saw because you continue to accumulate hardware. And it adds greatly to your score. Your score will max out on the home version at 999,990, so just short of 1 million. And the health will max out at 900 or rather 9,990. That's the most you can do. You can do better on the arcade version. Again, this is one of those times where the video game, the home version, loosely resembles the original arcade version. Now, the arcade version I was incredibly good at. I could play the hell out of that game. I could tilt it out. This game really has no end. So I'm not going to play this to the end because there is no end. I'll just play it long enough so that you can reasonably see pretty much everything that you can do in this game. One unique feature about the game, both the arcade and the home version, is you see how this is a split screen made for two people. The player on the bottom can go in an entirely different direction than the player on the top. So you don't have to be on the same screen at the same time with most other dual player games. Same thing with the arcade. 3 players can go in 3 different directions, which was very unique. It's a feature that I appreciated with that game. Again, I was killer on this at the arcade, and every level was different. You went to different looking ships, different planets, whatever. On this, you go to this what looks like the same planet or moon every single time. Here's the elevator. First time you've seen this, press the button to get it open. It'll tell you which direction you can go in, up or down. Rarely there are 3 levels. Usually it's just 2. Every once in a while there's 3. Dripping ceiling, watch out for that. And if you've noticed, there's your grenade. That's how you do it. Squat and press the A button to throw it. But and it will kill anything in one shot. But it's rare that you can throw the grenade and hit anything because everything tends to move on you, which really sucks. Wasting my time here with this. I really shouldn't screw around with it. But you'll notice that no more than any 2 moving antagonist items on the screen at once. There's a dripping ceiling, so 1 alien at a time. Oh, I got the laser again. Okay. Hopefully I'll get one of the other ones. Getting weapons in the home version is very hard. I've played this game for an hour and not gotten again with the cheap gun, not gotten a single weapon change option. And I've played it and got one on every level. So it's completely screwy random with the home version. It's very buggy. You'll notice there's no sound. Or no music, I should say. There's sound, but there's no music. Look at that, they just gave me the same gun again. That shouldn't happen. That's what I mean about it being buggy and kind of glitchy. But there is no music on the home version. There was no music in the arcade version either, if I remember, except for, like, the transition music. So we'll keep going here. Actually, I'm wasting a lot of time. So hopefully I won't run out of time before I have to transition to the next level. There we go. Having a bonus gun makes it a lot easier. And again, the laser is the second most powerful gun in the game. The gun you come in with is the sucky gun. I hate that gun. It's hard to work with. It's not very effective. You always hope to get a change of weapon. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Oh, come on. Well, that's the third most powerful gun. It shoots electricity. I'll just demonstrate it for you really quickly here in case I don't see it again, and then I'll get out of here. Oh, and that's the warning, which means I'm about to fail the mission, so I'll go ahead and just transport. And there you go. Hopefully we'll see that again. We'll see what happens. No promises. Beam back to the ship. You've probably been paying attention to when you pick up bottles or cups that it gives you an increase to your health, and as long as your health is up, you can't die in this game. You'll keep going. Valuable hardware accumulates unless you use it. So if I use one of the grenades, it will disappear from this inventory. There are other things that can be used in the arcade version that you can't use here. So a lot was sacrificed to make this into an 8-bit game, to fit it into an 8-bit format. Aside from also missing components like not having a third player option and not being able to use certain features and not having more than 2 things on the screen at once. Like here you have 2 of the grenade traps. In the arcade version, you could have multiple creatures on the screen at once. You could have like a half a dozen things you're shooting at. There are larger creatures than that xenomorph that you just saw, this thing, that come out of the doorway and hypnotize you, again with the laser. I'll take it. I mean, it's better than nothing. Knock me down. Here we go. There are much larger creatures that come out of the doorway. I lost my bonus. Oh well. And there's a beam that comes out of their eyes and hypnotizes you. Oops. And there's eggs, pulsating eggs that those creatures crawl out of. There's a lot more going on the arcade version. The arcade version's just better. Most of the time it was in those days. It didn't always match up. Another thing you'll notice is this poor color saturation, which you saw often with Super NES. Not Super NES, but with Nintendo NES, I mean. 8-bit system. Oops, can't go that way. The color saturation is not that great. Like those big xenomorphs, they're supposed to be green. Sometimes there's a little green in them. Most of the time they're semi-transparent. No, again with that gun, I swear. But the color saturation leaves a lot to be desired. There we go. In the home version. It's still fun though. It's still fun to play this 2-player. I still enjoy this game. Yeah, watch out for jumping into things like I just did. No! Again with the gun. They're trying to trick me, I'm telling you. But anyway, aside from that, I mean, it doesn't look like the arcade. Look at that. Seriously. It doesn't look like the arcade version much, but it's very close to the arcade, and I enjoy that. I enjoy that. And if I could afford a real stand-up home arcade system, I would want to have XENOPHOBE. I was a champion on it back in the day, back in the 80s when I was still a teenager. I could, on 1/4, play this game all the way until it rotated out, because there was an end to it in the arcade version, a final stage, and then it would start all over again with your score. So you would just continue with your score where you are, and it would start all over again, start from the beginning. And I could do that, and it would take like 2.5 to 3 hours on a single quarter. So I was the man back in the day, if you will. Oh, and I'm done. I'll go ahead and get out of here and get back to where I was, base cleared of Xenos. Go back to my main ship. So you've seen the demonstration of the laser pistol and of the lightning gun. The lightning gun kills faster than the laser, but you're giving up distance, as you might have seen there. Maybe I'll get it again, or maybe I'll get the 4th weapon, which is the most powerful weapon in the game, which is a gas gun. It shoots like a puff of acid, and you can kill even the largest things in the game with 2 shots. And again, I'm not going to play this just non-stop. I could sit here and play this for literally hours, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go ahead and, as soon as I can fairly demonstrate everything that you can do, we'll move on, and I'll put an end to this. Hopefully you're getting something out of seeing this. Maybe you remember this game. You notice how the saturation on that, the blue part there almost looks kind of like yarn because of the way it's pixelized. Oops, get out of his way. You can jump over when they spit at you too, but it's kind of hard to dodge. And also, sometimes when you jump over it, they jump on you. So usually you're better off just sitting there and letting yourself get spat on, rather than trying to evade it. Just suck it up. Let me get out of this room. It's a waste of time again. Oh, can't go that way. Or maybe I can coax him through and not get knocked through through the doorway, because they can knock you through the doorway and you will have wasted your time. But as I pointed out, try not to waste your time with the drones or the grenade traps too much. Go ahead and waste your time with the little critters like that little blob and the crawly thing there, the little baby xenomorph, the face hugger, if you will, that climbs on you and chews on you. And that little bell that you heard a moment ago, bing, bing, that was the computer, that was not this game. There we go, gas gun. Look at that. Nice. See how quickly it just eradicates everything? And you can kill the drone in 2 shots with it too. If I get a chance, I'll demonstrate that for you here. Hopefully. But yeah, any more powerful weapon you can get will help to get you through the game more easily when I get out of this room. Oh, here we go. Now I can show you. See how quick that was? But there's so much distance was given up. That looks like orange yarn. Go ahead and going down, going up. Wasn't paying attention. Just jumped in the elevator. Take advantage of every opportunity with collecting weapons in this game. But yeah, like I said, the laser was always my favorite because I was rapid fire with the laser. I found that to be more desirable because of the distance that it allowed, as opposed to having to get right up on top of something like with this weapon. Even though it's very popular, it's a lot safer to not be that close. Oh geez, no, I don't want that. That's pretty much everything that I can show you. I mean, I could keep playing, but there's kind of no point. You get the idea, I think. So I'll go ahead and I'll just wrap up this stage. Odds are, oh my gosh, with that, I wish I could burn that gun. Let me get out of here. I could try to keep playing until I can better demonstrate the lightning gun, but I mean, you saw it, you get the idea. I don't have to drag this out too much or too much longer. And like I said, it's not like the arcade version where every stage is different. This is just kind of like the same rooms randomly mixed over and over again. The laser, I'll go ahead and take it because I just like it better. And I'm done. So I hope that helped you to understand this game and explained it to you. And that weird hum that you hear in the background is because of the translation of NES to the game capture system that I'm using. For some reason, it makes that weird background hum with the Nintendo NES system, but not any other system I've tested this on. But anyway, please do give the video a thumbs up. I hope you got something out of this. Share it if you can. Subscribe if you're new. Check out some of our other retro game walkthroughs. I don't always talk through all of them, but I did on this one. Whichever you prefer. Check out some of our other walkthroughs. Take a look at some of the other things we do on this channel. We do a lot more than just video game showcases. We do a lot with vintage toys, vintage action figures, modern action figures, discussions, adult collector discussions, if you will. So check it out. You may find something that you like. Join our Patreon family and find us on Instagram, Open by Chance on Instagram. Find us on Facebook. All that information is down below. So, hey, what more can I say? But thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.